As we have been discussed last time regarding net force or resultant force, now we will move to Newton's first law of motion. So where is that Newton's first law of motion coming from? Why is it created? How is it was being discovered? So this work, now, when it comes to Newton's law of forces, including the law of gravitation, okay, this is coming from the famous contributions of Sir Isaac Newton. So there are various descriptions according to this principle. What is Newton's first law of motion? So according to the first Newton's law of motion, now, let's refer first those questions that usually relates the theory of relativity and how this happens in our daily life activities. So what is the Newton's first law of motion? How is motion related to balanced and unbalanced forces? If you guys remember about the concurrent forces, parallel forces, and a resultant force. So what is the effect, okay, and how it affects when it comes to gravitational forces according to the object's mass and weight? How does an inertia affects the motion of an object? Now let's move forward. We all know the word net force. In other words, resultant force. The combination of all the forces acting on an object. So there are various examples that we can cite, especially in our physical body activity, when we were at home, going somewhere else, even at school. Okay? Several activities that involves with force, pushing and pulling the objects. Okay? So every time you move your chairs or tables, every time you arrive in your classroom, writing, okay, bringing your bag. So those things might involve the combination of all forces acting between the objects and of course with specified directions. Okay? When it comes to your strength, your ability to work for it. So forces acting on an object. So that's the way how the balanced forces, okay, are being taken into consideration. If those objects, okay, which is part of a frame of reference, then there is a magnitude 1 and magnitude 2, but they have the same forces acting towards the object in opposite direction. You have to remember that the resultant force must be 0. Okay? It's because both forces have equal presence of magnitude. So for example, if you are going to deduct 20 Newton minus 20 Newton, okay, that's 0 as its net force. Okay? So even in a separate direction or pointing towards on its direction, pushing or pulling activity. Okay? If they have the same forces, both forces are the same, similar to each other, the resultant force is always zero. Right? How about unbalanced forces? So this is under the first Newton's law of motion. Okay? In which, in unbalanced forces, it's not balanced. Huh? Force acting on an object that combine and form a net force that is not zero at all. Either we use addition method. You have to sum up. No? If those forces goes in the same direction or same pathway. Right? But if not, in this condition, you need to use subtraction method or deduction method. Okay? To deduct, okay, the lesser force versus the greater force. Right? And then, considering the amount of magnitude, okay, which side are the right side, left side, upward or downward motion. So Newton's first law of motion, this law states that if the net force acting on an object is zero, the motion of the object does not change. As I've said, for F1, 20 Newton, for F2, 20 Newton. There is no motion takes place or no moving of objects. Right? It remains stationary or at rest. Therefore, the net force is 0 Newton. That's how the Newton's law of motion stated. That objects remains at rest. So say for example, if we go back to the gravity, free fall object, it falls into the ground and there were no motion at all, it remains at state in which we were able to determine if there is no external forces in between that is being exerted towards the object. Next one, inertia. So what is meant by a word inertia? Inertia is the tendency of an object that resists a change in motion. Say for example, as I mentioned before, if a car, okay, we put